that I am so happy with. I'm going to turn around and try to set this up so that I'm not destroying anything, but basically the drawing tablet is, well, it's going to give you an upside down view. That's not really going to be very useful. What I can do is I can go from maybe over here and give you a view from over there. Possibly if I can get something to stand that on. It's just that this isn't a great angle to be able to see anything. I need something to stand that on that's wide enough to actually hold it up. Give me a moment. Yeah, okay, so let's have a look and see what we can do. Alright, give me a second and I'll get in here. Haven't been coming on here very much because I've just been too busy doing other things, but you may be able to see now what I'm doing. Kind of, sort of. It's a bit awkward because my chair kind of needs to get in there, but basically this is called a tablet, drawing tablet, and it's basically quite a large one, and you can see there is the little computer there which runs the tablet. So I'm going to try and see if I can do some more drawing. Hey Crazy Cat, hey Victor, how you going Victor? Hey Hazelnuts, how are you? You need to go to bed? Yeah, get some sleep. I'm tired myself. I need to go to bed myself. But thanks for dropping by. So this thing little here is a little pen. I'm going to click on the black. I'm going to fix up some outlines that I'm doing. So basically, I've created these little creature things here. And this is like a whole bunch of people in the desert that are virtually yeah, it's like there's an alien baby mixed in. But I don't know what it is. It's just my brain just decided this is what I'm going to do today. And when I'm doing this sort of stuff, I just follow my lines, go with them, and do what the lines expect me to do. Generally, I don't usually do human bodies because I'm no good at it. But for some reason today, it wants me to do it. So I have to wear this glovey thing because if I don't, I wreck my screen. And what it does, collect my palette. So basically this is like almost like a cartoon storybook illustration-y style, which I love doing digital art. I mean, honestly, my best art comes when I use a canvas and actual paint. However, I love doing digital art because I can screw up many, many times and it costs nothing to screw up and fix things up. So and the other good thing about it is storage wise, you can do millions of pictures and you can store them and there's absolutely no worry about it. Now, this is kind of it's a strange way of doing it, things that I'm doing, but it's the kind of stuff that comes out of my subconscious head, And it's kind of strange, but I think it ends up with being fairly cool once it's all done. And nothing's going to, I mean, a lot of people nowadays have the AI programs, which are basically the computer does everything for you. Hi there, Bambaloo H20 OK Girl. How are you going? Hope you're well. I don't study art. I don't do art the way conventional people do it. I get told off for everything that I do. I get told off because I don't do anything right. I don't do music right, and I don't do art right. I don't sing right. I don't play guitar right. I don't play piano right. Don't ride horses right. Don't do anything right. But I don't give a shit. I just do it the way I want to do it, and that's the best way you can do it. And people who just follow order all the time and rules all the time come up with boring stuff. When you do things because you want to do it, in the style you want to do it, the way you want to do it, not for anybody else but yourself, that's when you truly do your best work. And that is when you start to really get in touch with your subconscious, which consequently is not a bad thing to do. Now, when I do these kinds of things, I'll look at this and go, this is freaking weird. This is strange as heck. And it is, because they're like in this kind of desert situation with virtually a heap of bodies lying around. And I don't quite know what it means or why it's happening. However, I just follow the lines that it tells me to go on. And when I say it, it's my brain just, I have lines that I see visually in my brain while I'm doing this. Sounds weird, yes, doesn't it? But that's how it works for me. Now, what the lines are trying to say or do, I don't know. They just are, and that's just how it is. And I will see more lines, so I'll be sitting here and then I might suddenly see a line over here, or I might see a line over there, or I might see one up there, or I might see something in here that's different to what I think maybe would go there. And I just do the lines, and that's how I come out with the stuff I come out with. And the lines are often, I believe, coming from my subconsciousness. Now, I'm going to zoom in so I can literally get this face here. This is the beauty of digital art. You can get right up in there and you can get into defining things. And this is why digital art is a very fun medium to use, as opposed to just doing. And suddenly her face goes from being ordinary to being, holy mother shit, I'm very, 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 very surprised and shocked at what's happening. And that's exactly what's happening here. She's getting shocked and surprised by the look of it. And is it a she? I don't know. I think it's a she. Now, these lines are getting very thick, so I'm going to fine them down a little so that whenever I do these eyebrows, which are shockers of eyebrows, they look a bit like mine. Mine are all over the darn spot. And believe me, I don't do people. People is nothing. No, people are not my thing. I'm no good at people at all. However, today my lines are doing a reasonably okay job at representing a human form. So I can say to myself, okay, well, you've got that happening. What does this mean? And now we may not have a girl. We may very well have a boy here. I'm not certain yet. Still not sure. Some kind of part happening here. Some kind of, this could be a man or a woman or a boy or a girl, and I still don't know. And maybe I'm not supposed to know. Maybe it's just a figment of somebody I maybe had in my life. That everything that comes out of my subconscious, there's always somebody I'll recognise when I'm finishing doing a painting. If there's faces in it, there'll be somebody's face from somewhere in my subconscious collection. And sometimes it takes me a while to figure out who they are, the faces, who the people are. And it can be kind of strange, but at the same time, it's an interesting process to do, because when everything is done through line, linear, like I have, you never quite really know what's coming up. I've always envied people who are good at animations. I think animation people are the best artists. Sure, the painters are great, and, you know, the classic-y kinds of painters. Monet and Van Gogh. And, of course, what's his name? Oh, my God, I can't think of what his name is. Salvatore Dali is one of my favourites. Absolutely one of my favourites. I'm going to have to get a battery pack for this film, this thing. It's going to close off. So basically, I'm going to be doing a lot of this kind of thing over the next few weeks or however long, which is fantastic, because this is very therapeutical for me. This keeps me busy, busy, busy. Can't see what I'm doing. I need a light bulb on this side. I just watched a documentary on Jerry Springer. It was fascinating. I remember when I was young, and I used to do activities every day with my kids, and then suddenly I'll watch Jerry Springer at lunchtime while the kids are having their nap. I keep forgetting that there's actually a thing. So now if I zoom out from here, see how much more definition that has, because I got up closer. Now I'll zoom back in. Now, let's have a... Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get my pen to come bigger again. I'm going to go for a skin colour tone. I'm just going to try to make the mouth not quite so open, a little less open, and get the colour a little more. It's hard to I'm just randomly picking stuff here and there, but it can be difficult to get the colour exactly how I'd like it, because if I don't make my own palette, which is what most people do, then it will basically be almost impossible for me to recreate the colours that I need of the person's skin tones. Now it's too purple. Let's go for more of a brownie. Let's go for a brownie colour. Let's go for a darker colour. There we go. That's a nicer colour. Bit of a... It's a dark, but it's a shadow dark. I really like doing children's book illustrations too. That's another thing that's one of my favourite things. I was always fascinated with children's books when I was a child. I spent a lot of time reading, and books were often my big solace and my saviour from freaking out and having a shitty time. And I can never do someone's mouth correctly. It's nearly impossible for me to do a mouth. What I do need to do is find that right down to a finite. Oh, shit. Now, that's kind of... no, that's not working. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to go to a darker colour there. I'm going to blot out around the nasal area there. I'm going to go lighter there. I'm going to try and do that nose a bit better if I can, because that colour's not really... needs to be a little bit more... it's too pink. It looks like the colour of bacon. Bacon colour. Well, I suppose human beings are kind of like bacon. We don't want to be like bacon, though. That's way too red. Okay. There we go. That's like a darker. That's like a browner colour. That's less bacony. Ah! This is where digital is also excellent, because you can undo the mistake you just made, and then you can correct it all best as you can. Oh no, because it's on eraser. Oh, I'm still learning. I have not used a program like this for many years. I once, years ago, had Cole Photo Draw. Which, back in the day, it was just a piece of flat rubber, and you used your pen over the top of it. It wasn't like glass, how it is nowadays. So it was very different to how. And the thing about drawing and art is, if you do art, you'll know this. If you move one line even a millimetre, you can completely destroy something very quickly, and it can look dreadful, which is what I think has just happened with me. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go a little lighter there. I'm going to go to a bit of a lighter colour here, because what I'm going to do is show that there's some teeth there. This guy's lucky, he's got some teeth. He's doing better than me. He's got teeth. And he's like I was when I was a kid. I had these big front teeth that just stuck out like rabbits. And just that little dot there gives him... how much bigger can we get? Okay, there we go. He's now pixelated completely. That's okay. Pixelation isn't a bad thing. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to do him so crazily bad that he's in... so I've got to be gentle with my whitening. I think it's easier to paint than it is to do it like this. But I like the challenge of doing it this way. Yeah, he's definitely now a he. And he's a he who has pink lips. Top and bottom. And he's got a bit of a bump there. And he's got a little bit of a show there. And then we're going to go down a little and get a very, very, very defined fine line happening. This is not easy to do. A very fine line. There we go. And for some weird reason, my lines aren't quite where they should be. I don't know if it's me or if it's the tablet. The pen feels like it's kind of lagging a little bit. But the thing about it is it's so fun to, again, challenge myself to actually doing this, because is the guy's button. Hey, Scott. It might be. Let's have a look. I think it is. Yes, it is. It definitely is. Let's have a close up. There we go. He's definitely got his butt in the alien's face. Yeah, it's kind of, and this dude down here looks like Mr. Squiggle's been at him. He's completely, I don't even know what he is. Actually, I think I just seen who he is now. Let's go. Isn't this a fantastic machine though? Look at it. Like, it seriously is such a great tool that I'm totally, I could stay here for months doing this and I would not get bored. I absolutely love doing these kinds of things. Well, he looks like he's got bacon colour now. I need to go slightly down over here. I'm going to make him more like an orangey colour skin tone. There we go. That's a better definition. I don't know what this one is. This one's coming out of the ground by the look of it. And baby alien is lying down, and this is baby alien's, I don't know what this is. Something on the side of baby alien. He may even be a double-headed alien, possibly. Who knows? But if he is, we will find out eventually what is going on inside this alien landscape with his little buddies. I'm going to go across here. I'm going to make a little bit of a different colour change here. Go for a brownish pink there, just to kind of emphasize that, because the lines come to me, but then I've got to fill the colours in, and if I can't fill the colours in, then I'm in trouble. This guy up here This, whatever this person is, male, female. Actually, this, I think this might be a girl. Possibly, maybe a younger female. Possibly. Not quite sure. But whatever they are, I like their pants and their red and green Christmassy colours. Especially mingled in with the rest of the colours. So as you can see, the colours are all going nicely. There's one thing that I really enjoy doing, and that is colour blending. I get a lot out of blending colours. I enjoy it a lot immensely. And I love doing it with paint. I could spend hours blending colours with paint as well. Now I'm going to have to go in a bit on this one so I can see the line that needs to happen here. It's telling me where I'm going, but it's not giving me a clear indication of what's happening. So I still don't know yet. There's something in the back there. And then there's something here. I think that might be a nose. Or maybe something else. Not sure. But could be some kind of a... Okay, so butt guy needs defining a little bit better. Or butt girl, whatever it is. A he or a she. Now, I just accidentally pressed on the erasing tool, I think, but I'm not sure. I've never used this program. This is called, what is it? Medibang Paint Pro, and it's free. It's a free program. It's apparently the shittiest one you can get, but it's free. I think it's fantastic. It's doing the job I want better than I ever would have thought. And years ago, I had Coral Draw program. It was great too, but this way out does that. This new technology is really good. Now I'm going to do a bit orange down there, pinky orangey, and now I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger so it can get stuck in here. Actually make it quite a bit bigger, and I'm going to change the colour slightly to a really light, almost opaque skin colour. Now zoom on in there again, move that up, move this across, and I can see what the line wants me to do here, so I'm going to follow it. It don't look like much right now, but just watch in a moment. These lines will make sense. This whole thing will make sense in a minute. Now I'm going to go down a little, get a little bit of darker colour there, just a little bit darker. That's a bit light actually, need a bit more like that. And until you define something, it really can be tricky to know whether or not it's actually going to do what you want it to do, or whether you're doing what you should be doing. Sometimes it looks like you're doing it and you're really not doing what you should be doing. Other times you think it's not doing what it should be doing, and then it suddenly appears as if it's been well done. Now, Crazy Alien Baby has We got something under there. I don't know what that is. Ah! I think I might know. I think I might know what this is right there. Okay. Go across there. A little bit of a shiner. So she's getting a bit shiny there. It's so fun doing this. I really am loving it. Hey Kimmy, how you doing? I really do enjoy this. This program's probably one of the best programs I've really used. Okay, so how are we looking from over here? We're looking pretty good. Oh my goodness, I've got more page over there that I didn't realise I had. Well, there you go. That's actually a interesting, actually, you know what? That's an interesting effect. If I bring it over here, and I'll try and get baby's head. Oi!
Huh?
Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, how's it all going?
Yeah.
Look what's happening.
I'm just gonna have to get another camera.
Oh, yeah, I'm live.
Sorry. Ooh.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah. That's cool.
It's very, very weird.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't know what giant alien baby's doing, but we'll figure it out.
That's incredible. You're doing so good.
I love it. This is my favourite tablet in the world.
Yeah. Just remember though, this thing does go up in the air. You don't have to put it on a table if you don't want to.
It doesn't. That's as high as it goes.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Oh no, it does go higher. But that's as high as it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just
Very hot in here.
it is what it is hot,
Can we turn
but
the fan on?
hang on. I'm trying to get it where it'll actually capture it. It's not really wanting to capture it. Hang on, sorry guys. Okay.
Looks so good. The setup looks incredible.
Well, I'm just grateful. And I'll tell you what, everybody, I got a desk, second-hand desk for $60 and 2 office chairs. One's like them, one of them is like an ergonomic office chair that is $300. The other one's like an $80 office chair. But I got 2 for $20 from the Resource Recovery Centre and saved an absolute fortune, which was bloody fantastic because I don't like spending money on anything at all. Yep. Now that's somebody's arm. I can see an arm coming out of there. Oh my God. Okay, that's an arm. I've just discovered that. All right, so I've got to go back. You'll see what I mean in a minute when I go in a bit closer. So here, I don't know where the arm's coming from because this is like a tangle of bodies. One time I painted a Holocaust scene and it was a whole heap of bodies coming out of basically being pushed through a barbed wire fence, and they were all dead, but they were being pushed through the barbed wire fence. And then when I finished the painting, it was all faces from my family that was in the picture. Every single one of my family members, not the ones that I liked, the ones that I didn't like, were in the painting, and it was weird. And my subconscious had put them in this painting. They probably deserved to be in that painting. Now, I'm hopeless at drawing hands and feet and stuff, so I have to rely upon these lines that I get given. But, I really like Giant Alien Baby. I think Alien Baby is a very good character. I'd like to make Alien Baby into a series of drawings, I think. Because I think Alien Baby really could work out to be extremely good. I'm pretty sure Alien Baby is a female by the look of it. No, edit that one. That ain't working. That ain't working. There we go. Leave baby's face alone. Don't touch it. It's perfect as it is. Now, I've really got no idea why these people are where they are. What the hell they're doing in the middle of a deserted place, looking the way they're looking. And in the positions they're in. Very weird. But I better be careful because I'm getting a bit sloppy there. Alien Baby's fingers aren't working as well as I'd like them to. I once painted a painting called Oprah in the Desert. I was watching the Oprah Winfrey show quite a bit, and then I suddenly somehow got Oprah Winfrey in the desert. And she had a giant alien baby that looked like, quite a lot like this one with her, which was interesting, given who she is and whatnot, and what she's now being accused of. Very interesting. She ain't the saint everyone thinks she was, apparently. So this alien bubby, I think we need to go a little closer in for her eyes because I think her eyes just are not quite where they need to be. That's better. And now I'll go back up to the corner here, get no peak colour. Okay, let's go back, down. Oh, before we go back, I'm going to just get this little bit here. And I'm using a watercolour wet effect to do this. And I like watercolour effect because I like painting with watercolours too, but I usually generally use acrylic if I am going to paint. I'll have to redo Mr. Big Pipes too. Okay, the baby's now changing shape and looking a bit weird. It actually looks like, you know what it looks like? The baby now looks like, you know the old Asian paintings back in the day where they had like ancient Chinese drawings and things. They use this kind of style. I find I do a lot of art that's not modern, non-modern. I actually have, and I'll show you his work. I'll look it up on the computer if I can. Oh, I don't know if I can do it while I'm doing this. I probably can't. Oh, hang on. No, I can. Let me go. Let me find it. This is my great, it's my, well, it's on my mother's side. It's her cousin. So I think that's called my great cousin. His name is, what's his goddamn name? Someone handly? Craig Handley. So he's my cousin, and this is the kind of paintings he does. He's my great cousin. He's like my mother's cousin. Hold on. Which is my great cousin. I don't know what you call it. But he does strange paintings too. But his are a little less colourful to mine. Mine are far more colourful. And if you look at his paintings though, my God. I'm pretty sure that's somebody I know. Anyway, he does weird paintings, but he also does paintings that are, hang on, where is his gallery? Okay, here's one of his ones that I really like. He just does strange, it doesn't want to come up. Anyway, it's like, hang on, I'll try and see if I can zoom you in. Okay, anyway, you can look him up on Google, Craig Handley. And sometimes I see similarities with his work and mine. I actually have a painting that I did that looks very similar to his paintings like this. His, those kinds of paintings. But also whenever I've done, okay, let me find it. Where is it? Hot chips. Yeah, he does a series of them. See, it's all hot chips. Everything's hot chips, hot chips. And then there's kids like floating in the sky. There's kangaroos in all these paintings. But anyway, he's really cool. I'm going to turn that off now so we get back to the painting. Now I'm going to go backwards out of there. I'm going to reverse this so you can see what's going on. Now, what's this one's doing? I have no idea. So I'm going to go onto a black again, and I'm going to see where my line says I'm going. My line says I'm going there, and my line says I'm going here. So I would assume this person has their eyes either almost shut or fully shut. They've got long eyelashes, whoever they are. And I'm going to zoom in so I can get this how it's supposed to go. Now, I think their eyes are shut or they've got long eyelashes, one or the other. But perhaps that's not all that's going on here, because I'm seeing these lines here that are showing me something else. So there's something happening here in there. And I hope everybody had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year. I had a quiet one. It was good. Kids came up, but it was good. Now the eyes are not closed. Something's happening in here with this person here. There's something going on here. What is it? I don't know. Something's happening. There's bits of jagged, something jagged going on. And that kind of freaky looking thing there, not too sure about that. No, I'm going to take that out. That line, I don't think that's right. Now everybody's got dark hair, except I'm going to make this guy, this girl or guy, whatever they are, have grey hair. Kind of grey. It's gone a little bit too grey. A little bit too white. Let me go back to dark again. Now I've got to try to get it back. And see, I didn't listen to my line. So now I'm seeing what it was trying to do. So she's a little bit, not a little bit, but a lot. Turned grey from being in the desert. I turned grey for about 3 or 4 months when I was in my 30s. I was about 32. And my hair turned grey for a little bit. Not fully, just a few grey hairs. And then suddenly it all disappeared and my hair went back to natural colour. And I don't have any grey hair at all. Which is kind of odd because you'd think I would have grey hair given everything, but I don't. Kind of lucky, I suppose. Now let's go back out and see. Oh yeah, I'm seeing that one. Okay. Let's go back up here again. I think my favourite person in here is the giant baby head. It's my favourite person. Now, in amongst all this tanglement, there's got to be something other than that. I don't know what all this is, but I've got a feeling it's plant materials, plant life possibly. So I'll try and see if I give it a plant background. I'll give it all a big. Yeah, got to get on the green. That's not the right colour green. We want to go for a forest colour. I don't know what's going on there, but something's going on. Something's happening in this little area here. So they're in some kind of a weird place where there's mostly just nothing, but there's also something, which could be anything. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. But I do think, whatever it is, it's definitely going to clash with those green pants. Which, no, I don't think it's working. So you never know with alien landscapes what's going to happen. It could be a desert and then it could be a bloody field of something. You're never going to know until you start going. What's going on? Now, that's nowhere near what it's supposed to be, I don't think. I'll have to see what happens. Hey Ken, how you doing? Hope you're good. Oh, so baby is crawling over something there, and coming out of that, but there's a darker thing happening there, and even darker, and that's even less there. So you've got to figure out your colours. You want your colours to reflect what story you're trying to get over there, or whatever it's trying to tell you. You want your colours to enact with that, and sometimes that's not so easy to do. It can be quite difficult actually. I'm going to go to fine lines shortly, but first okay, let's think about that. And if you just change your shape of how your strokes are going, you can add a bit of texture to it, and then I'll show you when it's a bit closer in. The texture can be very handy to add some substance so that you've got light and dark defined, but you've also got a bit of movement happening in amongst that light and dark, kind of like what you would go for if you were doing like something like, now I'm going to go back on here right down to almost 0. Actually that is too little. Okay, 4.5. Then I'll just brush it over with a little bit of stick here and there, a little bit here, a little bit there, some places here, some places there. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just got to look a little bit more defined, and then you have some definition to things, which means you can then make it a bit more of a storyteller than if it's got no definition. I'm just randomly throwing strokes here and there, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. You probably can't really see much of a difference there right now. I'll tell you now, it's definitely giving some definition. So it's like if you were sitting on a bunch of pine needles, basically. There's a mosquito in here and it's biting me. I feel it biting me on the leg. Bugger of a thing. So as we get to the defining points, if we go darker down the bottom, then common sense tells us that that gives us our shades and our depth perception. And that's what we need to do, depth perception. which is consequently what many of the very famous artists used, was just that little bit of extra darkness to completely pop something. And I never attended any art schools or anything like that, but I understood that concept very well. Just naturally understood it. Having the popping effect that you want is just really understanding light and dark, which I'm not that great at, but because the colour palettes can be good, it works okay for me. And of course, the further back it goes, the less dark it gets. The closer in it is, the darker it is. So that's how it works. Now, I've got this there. I'm going to go to black, full black, and finish off this little corner here. So, Alien Baby has a strange like bracelet thing around its hand. Now, this jumper, I'm not liking. That's clothing. I'm not liking the clothing. I'm going to take it away. No, I'm going to change it, and I'm going to go for, I'm going to get it to a colour that I'm not using yet, and see what happens with that. Now let's see what happens when we change that colour and go to an orange, a purple instead of an orange. What does it do? Does it work or does it not work? We'll soon see in a minute. Let's move out and have a look. Better. The purple then pops your reds, your yellows, your greens and your blue. So we'll stick with the purpley colour. We'll go a little lighter at certain points. And even lighter still. And then back a little bit more this way for the edging here. There we are. Then we'll go up a little bit and more towards the pinky purple. Rightio. Now, get back down there. We've got lots to work on. Lots of canvas to work on. Ah, just realised. Okay, zooming in on Grandma and doing a darker, slightly darker purple there, the bottom there, the base. There we are, and then a little bit around there. Now I go to a darker with a greyish in it, hue in it. Then we go straight to a blacky purple at the base there and there, around the neck, around the shoulder, around the front area, and under the belly area. And then a little bit of purplish colour as an overlay there. Now with the jeans, I'm going to change that colour to a darker colour, like an almost dark blue, dark midnight dark blue dark colour. Actually, let's go a little bit more up here. There we go. That looks a bit more like a denim-y colour. Now, something's going to flip out here because this is not a pair of jeans like I thought it was. So, you'll see in a moment what I'm talking about. But it ain't a pair of pants. And we'll get into the detail of what it is shortly. I'm going to go up. I'm going to bring that down and across. So we've got all of Grandma's stuff there. We're going to go another up and across. Now we can work with Granny. Okay, and we're going to go all the way down to 3.7 there. And then we're going to use black. Use a dark, or very super dark blue. And we're going to scale up. When I mean scaler, what I mean by that is we're going to do this. She isn't quite a human. She's what I'd call a fish out of water. A fish disguised as a human, but not an actual human. Got to remember, this landscape is kind of odd. The things in it are even odder. They're not what they seem. They never are. Which is why I love art so much, because you can create anything you want, and it's going to be your design, and it's going to be unique to you. And once you've done it once, well, once I've done it once, I can never do it again. Once it's out, and that's the end of it. Some people can recreate their works over and over again. I can't. I can only do it once, and even doing it once can be problematic. And it looks crappy right now. And it's going to look even crappier in a minute. Because I'm not really defining it very well. I'm just kind of quickly I'm not putting enough pressure on the pen here. Because I'm new at it, I don't know how much pressure I can do. I don't want to damage anything by using too much pressure. And I mean, honestly, up close, you'd have to have a magnifying glass to actually see this once it's finished. I'll show you what I mean. When it's back, it's pretty hard to see the scaly part. But if that's what you'd call it, that's what I'd call it. And the other thing that I'm doing with these scales is generally they get smaller as they go along. I'm kind of keeping them around the same size, but I'm making them slightly thinner as they go along. Just to try to, well, probably being lazy. It's more like pigeon feathers than scales. Uh-oh. I need to undo that. I'm going to show you something in a minute, because right now it looks a bit stupid, but it won't in a minute. And I'll show you in just a moment why it won't look stupid. Make them a little bigger at the base again. Because remember, we're not perfectionists. We're about whatever the brain wants us to do to get on the paper. You may have already figured out what she is. She's like a mermaid, granny mermaid, desert fish out of water. Interesting character. Oh. How did that happen? Need to get back onto my car. Oh no. Blue cut, black, blue, black. Ah! I got stuck there. That's not very good. I've got to get back off the eraser. That's why I'm on the eraser. Got to be off the eraser. That's not clever. And now it doesn't want to go. It doesn't want to go into a final line. There we go. That's better. Okay. And this is where having this tool of being able to, oh my God, I've just done it again. Having the tool of being able to go in and out, zoom in and out, is an absolute luxury. So I can do it again here, because I'm getting down to the very nitty gritty down the end here. Now I can see what I'm doing. Very quickly get this done. Don't have to be quick, but I just want to be finished with it. It's driving me insane. And now here, it's going to go different here. It's going to go rounded here at the end, and it's going to finish rounded like that. And then we're going to start getting into some flappy tail bits, which really I didn't need to do right there because they're going to be overdone with, let's go to a darker colour. Jeans, they're going to be covered over right now anyway, and then I'll fix that up as well. And what I will do is go back here, I'll reduce that down and I'll make some blue there. Where it's not blue, I'll put some blue. So down the bottom here, it's kind of not blue, it's kind of orange. So those little orangey bits I'll blue up. Now, I'm going to go over here. Now this is where the magic happens. All we do is pop a little bit of lighter colours just on the edge of each little individual scale, especially the ones on top. They're going to be even lighter than the other ones. Some are going to be darker, some are going to be white light, but we're going to make them try to blend into an oblivion. Tedious work, but when you see the end result later on, you'll go, ah, that was a good idea. Now I'm going to go really light there, really light this back end here. You can see it's starting to represent some kind of shiny scales. Now, I'm very lazy, so I don't want to muck about for too long doing these. So I'm going to get all the little skinny bits done as quickly as I can. And see how we go. I'm probably making everybody get very bored right now. I'm not actually looking up very often, so sorry about not listening or reading the comments. Well, I can't hear anything anyway, obviously, but I'll take a look now. Voice is calming. Oh, thanks. I don't usually think I'm calming. I don't like my own voice at all. Unless I'm doing Janis Joplin, then I don't mind because it's good screaming. But most of the time, and this is the stupid thing, I talk to myself all bloody day long. Yet I can't stand my own narrative. I could never do an audiobook. It would be a big failure. I tried once, actually. I tried doing Memoirs of a Geisha. It did not work. One of my favourite books. Love that book. But I'm going to just go insane with this tablet. I mean, this is just the first day. I did a silly drawing earlier on. I don't even know where it went. I saved it somewhere. It's on my desktop somewhere. And hang on a second. There's a few of these here that need to be really prominent because of the curve of the butt on it, on the mermaid, granny mermaid. I mean, this is obviously a strange thing. No. This one here, I don't like. I'm gonna go over this. Don't like the colour actually. I prefer the light of this blue better, to be honest. And then going even lighter up into the sky blue. Back into an aqua blue would be nicer. About there. So get it nice and light at the end. Now, got to come down here. Yeah, see that light aqua tail is going to pop this out where it needs to be popped. So we're going to swirl it around, and then we're going to go back to the darker blue. And we're going to swirl that out to the edge. Then we're going to go back to the very dark blue. We're going to swirl that out. Then we're going to go back to the purpley blue. And we're going to swirl that out. And there we go. There we are. Okay. Beautiful. Satisfied with that. Now, we'll go back to the, we'll go black or white? We'll go black. We'll go with black. We'll go black. We'll go back to 0.3. We'll redefine the end of the tail. And then we'll give some definition to her tail. To her end. Now the tail's had a bit of a chunk bitten out of it here, by the looks of it. And it's a little darker on the edges there. Chunk bitten out. Now we're going to go up and out. And just get some basic strokes there. Man, this tablet is amazing. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is. I was almost worried that I'd done the wrong thing by getting it. It's been so many years since I've even used one. I used to use one all the damn time. I used did a lot of tablet art for years on end, and then I just suddenly stopped. Actually forgot about it. Forgot that that's what I used to do. And these little bits of tail flippy stuff that go on, that just gradually come down, kind of. Now, get ready. We're going to do the reveal of it. And this also, the beautiful thing about this tablet is the amount of pressure. You don't have to have extreme pressure, but if you put a lot of pressure on here, you're going to get a really good result with your pressure. So if I go on here and I press hard, it's going to do a big strike. But if I want it to be thin, I just got to press hard and go boom, 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 boom. Now, on top of that, we're going to go back across to the very light sky blue colour, and we're going to do some light sky blue lines in between the darker blue, like so. And that's where you get your really nice contrast with your colours. And up close it looks shit, but once you go back from it and you get it back out, which I'll do shortly, but what I'm going to do first is some of this on the edges of the tops, around the very, very top part. I'm going to do that, and you'd be surprised, one line blue make all the darn difference to this whole picture. It's just got to be one little flick, littlest flick. Doesn't even have to be extreme. Doesn't even have to be hardly even seen. Just got to be a flick of it, like so. Especially on the top rung, there, up there. And then it goes down into the body, down the bottom. It's meticulous work, but like I said, the end result's well worth what you do. There's little extra things that you pop on things that makes all the darn difference. It's patience. You gotta have the patience to do it. And it's just feeling emotionally the colours coming out. I paint with emotional content in my brain. I don't paint with knowledge. I don't know how to do things. They either happen or they don't. They cannot be forced. If they're forced, they won't happen. They'll just be ridiculous and they'll just be the stupidest thing on the planet. It'll be like stick insects. Stick people, not stick insects. Nothing wrong with the stick insect. I actually like stick insects quite a bit. If you look at all the ancient artworks, it's the colours that, and the way the colours are constructed, more than the shapes. They have very basic shapes, very basic. They're not intricate, but it's the way they make their colour work. And this is why, on this very top corner here, you're going to have a very thin line of the aqua blue coming up there, and we're going to go even lighter over into the corner here, and we're going to do another bit there. It's like a belt, so it's defining the midline there, so it's giving some definition to where the scales start and where the body ends. We're going to do the same up this end, just where that black part is, where it's broken up. I'm just going to do a little definition. And then we're going to do another beat there. Right, now let's go out of there. And now can we see how much better it looks when it's further back? It gives it way more definition. And then when you put it in context and you go right back, and you can see the entire picture so far, it is roughly, well, that's not the entire picture, but it's almost there. There's the entire picture. So that now comes out quite strongly. So if I zoom in on that from here, you can see very clearly that is now popping everything. So everything else that's in here, even though it's all similar colours, this gives that definition, which is what we want. If you look at children's books, the reasons why children's books are so successful, I believe, is if you look at the ones that are successful, it's the colour that they use. They're not so much drawn to the story as they are to the colours and the pictures in the book. It's all about the art. And kids know good stuff. They know good art. Now, I'm going to go back forwards again. I'm going to go down. We're going to go on here. We're going to give some definition here to Granny's top and her arms under here. Now, I don't know what I'm doing about the hands, because I don't know what the hands are supposed to be doing. I'm not really a fan of the hands right now. I'm kind of like, I mean, they're there, but I don't really care to know what they're doing. I'd honestly rather just not deal with the hands right now. I'd rather just leave them until I know what's supposed to happen, because I really don't know what's meant to happen there. But I do know that her chin's gonna cause a bit of a shadow there. Now, Granny, her hair is kind of in little wavy pockets. So, back in the day, the old ladies used to dye their hair purple often. Well, they still do. They put in what they call a purple rinse into their hair. But I think this Granny is just going to have an average hairdo that's kind of strange. A little bit weird. It's almost as if it's a, maybe it's a scarf. Maybe it's not a hairdo. Maybe she's wearing a scarf of some kind. I don't know. Can't tell just yet. Almost. Yeah. I think she's got some kind of bizarre hat thing happening here. Kind of weird. I don't think it's hair. Now I'm thinking it's not hair. I'm thinking she is not wearing hair. I'm thinking there's something else going on there. We're going to go closer in for Granny. You can see the pixels now. This is where it's pixelating. And I'm going to go in with a sharp point there. And I'm going to get those lips done while I'm thinking about it. Because I'm ignoring them otherwise. Now, one thing I'm going to try and do is come over here Go a little bit less peachy there. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to go right in that corner here. I'm going to do a big old light shine there in that corner. So now she's got like a, yeah, let's go back here with a bit more orange there. Bit darker. Just a smidgen darker there. Smidge darker here. Smidge darker there. Darker under the eye. Around this end of the nose. Darker there. And then on top of the eyelid. Go a little darker there. We'll go even darker down here. Just across there. Just in that little bracket there. And a little nose pock there. No, that's too dark. I went too dark. Okay, let's go back lighter. There we go. Now, she's looking a little bit long in the eye. There we go, up there. And let's get that light there on that lip. Hang on, that lip needs to be white. Right there, needs to be white. There and there. Okay, now I think I've got it. Alright, let me zoom back out now. Okay, that's a bit better. Now zoom back in because I need to go black again and I need to go where this plant life is. We're gonna get this plant here where it needs to be, and it's just gonna develop slowly as we get moving in here. Now I'm seeing this line here. Okay. Now when I reverse and go back out now, we're starting to get some definition here. So all this little bit of stuff that's starting to define very slowly but surely, we're getting definition in this picture. It's getting there slowly. You like the scales? Yeah, they do. I like the scales too. I'd like to do a lot more of those throughout this whole picture, but in key points. But I have to wait and see whether or not it's supposed to be like that, because my brain will tell me at some point or another, this is what you've got to do. It's weird. I can't describe it. Other people, like I've been asked if I can do some album art for someone, and years ago when I used to do art, people would say to me, could you do this or can you do that? And I'd say to them, I can't do what you are asking. I can only do what my brain will let me do. I can try, and if you're happy with the results, then you're happy. But if you're not, well, there's not much I can do about it. But I really never had anybody dislike what I did for them. They all just liked what I did, so it was okay. So when it's like that, you kind of go, okay, well, it's working. Baby's lips need to just be slightly more defined. That's better. And baby's nose. Slightly more defined as well. And here and there you'll see things that you kind of go, oh yeah. But I'll tell you, one of the people that's comes on my channel regularly is an excellent artist. And it's a young fella. You all probably know him, Skelly the Doctor 4. He is an amazing animation artist. He can just do things on extremely quickly on a whim, instant, like crazily well. Really? This is really weird. Okay, I just saw what's supposed to happen here, and this is odd. It's flat hands. Non-three-dimensional, just paddle hands. Paddle hands, which is weird. But this paddle hand is half flipped up. Well, this is weird. Oh my goodness, I don't know what that means. I talk to myself all the time, don't worry. It's just part of what I do. So have to go bigger so I can get that. Okay, I need to go bigger and I need to go littler here. 0.22. Okay, now I'm going to go with a white nail. And on this side, she's got bent backwards paddle fingers that don't seem to be... Ah! I did it again. Accidentally got the... let's go back over to the very yellowy colour. No! We've got to go onto there. There we go. We're going to go colour that. No, we need to go on to colour. That's the one. So it's kind of an odd, bizarre hand. Not normal, not human, just like a paddle with a hand, finger hand. Ah! Did it again. How am I doing that? I'm accidentally putting an eraser on and I don't know how I'm doing it. But I'm doing it. Let's go bigger. Let's go bigger. Oh, too big. It's as big as we want to get. Now we want to go smaller. Because we want to go more lighter too on the edges. Around the edges, but not too light where we're taking away from the nail, which is very light. Okay, now paddle thumbs aren't going to work. Now this particular paddle part is going to be weird and strange. Alright, so we got those done. Now we're going to go on to black again and finish and define those edges there. It's actually not black, it's like a strange colour, and we're going to get in and around under there. Now we'll go back out again, we'll come back up again, and back across again. Okay, that's looking fairly okay. Go back out a little bit more. How's that? Out a little bit more. What are you thinking so far? Would you hang it in your house? Or would you be horrified and run away and think it was straight out of the pits of hell? Wow, it's 7:20. Hang on a second. I need to get a drink of water. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. It's just, I'm fascinated by this program. I'm totally pleased with it all. I love it. Okay. It is a very slow, boring process, I know. For most people would be very bored watching something like this. It is pretty boring. However, I totally enjoy doing this. Now, So strange. Weird, weird, weird. Very bizarre. Oh. Uh-huh. Now, I want to go probably here, and I want to do a gold band. Okay, zoom in again. I go further yellow down there, yellow, yellowy, goldy yellow with there. It's more yellow than gold. Gold has always got red through it. It's more like a yellow. And then I'll go to and go back to black and give it a good little pick off there. So it's kind of like a weird headband that's going on here. I'm going to go to an aqua blue and I'm going to clean that up with that blue stone and a light sheen inside of it. Now, what I may even do here, I'm going to zoom in big time to Giant Baby Eyes. And I'm going to go to the very smallest pen that I can on there. Do the slightest colour blue iris area. Go around here. Blue. Then we're going to go to black and we're going to go to black ring, which will then pop the eye blue. I highly recommend, if anybody wants to get one of these kind of drawing tablets, even if you just buy the smaller sized one, they're bloody good, because the things you can do with them. Now I'm going to move back out and let's see what the eyes do. Oh, the eyes are great. Liking the eyes. The eyes are actually making the baby come out nice there. Now, I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to go to my colour and I'm going to select that colour there. I'm going to go to my go across a little. No! Don't want that. Get that back onto back there. I'm kind of learning how to work this, but I keep on pressing an eraser somehow. I don't know how that's happening. It's happening. Now, zoom back in again. Back over again. And we're going to go back to black again. We're going to go down to 2.6. A fine line. And we now, done it again. What on earth is going on? Okay, so that's now taking care of that. Now, down here, Okay. There's another really great artist on here that I watch. Ross Mobile is an awesome artist. Can draw people unbelievably well and just draw everything, really. Fantastic drawing artist. And does it by hand, not digital. Does it by hand. I've been noticing the increase of people calling themselves artists who are just getting AI to do the pictures for them. I don't call that art. I call that cheating. I don't think there's anything artistic about that. You're literally just getting a computer to do it for you, so what's artistic about that? Nothing. I mean, it's a fun thing to do, but to claim the art as an actual work of art, well, you didn't do it, the computer did it, so it's not classed as an art. If the AI is making the whole scenario and all you're doing is typing in a word, I'd like to paint a cat in a rowboat out at sea because you like the Owl and the Pussycat, say that, and then it does it for you, that's not really artisticness. It's just, maybe you're clever at making a scene up in your head, you might have a great imagination, but if the computer's the one who's doing the actual drawing, then I can't say that I would accept that as being artistic in the sense of the human hand having to draw the actual picture. It's the same if everything's always traced. A lot of people do art and they trace everything. They don't actually come up with the concept themselves. Now, tracing is something that I know is sometimes part of art, different forms of art, but I still again think if you're using something that you're tracing that somebody else has done, then you're really not really coming up with it yourself. So I would again say that's not really art, that's copying. Difference between copying and true art. And there are many fantastic true artists that are, probably going to be out of work soon because the computer will do everything for free. So all those wonderful artists that created so many things before, Pixar, Disney, all those kinds of things, they'll all be gone. Now, I'm going to do something strange here. I'm going to go with a darker colour. I'm going to up my brush. Now I'm going to make a going to make something there, but I'm going to have to, I mean, it's amazing what art the computers can do. I've seen some really awesome stuff, and it's awesome for people who have it for, their marketing and stuff. It's a very clever thing, very cheap way of marketing oneself and getting the computer to do the work without having to pay an absolute fortune to somebody to do it for you. And I think that part of it is probably not a bad thing. But I do believe there'll come a time when people get sick and tired of this AI stuff and they're going to want proper artists again. that actually do things. Because there's one thing a computer can't do. It can't work through emotion. It can come up with amazing things. You can put things into its input and it can try to replicate something that would be an emotional scene or something, but there's always that you can tell that it's not. That it's not what you think it is. That it's a computer doing it. So it kind of it's easy to pick AI art over. I mean, some humans are capable of doing fantastic art like the AI, and they do a bloody good job. But for the most part, you're going to see the difference with the AI compared to the human art. The AI is going to be very, very different. Now, this is going to become another point. Okay, so the baby now has gotten a lot of attention here. And it's kind of strange. And I can kind of see a partial another hand here. It's kind of weird. Okay, so it's like that's weird. Okay. Rightio. Can I go back here? Rightio. Go over here. Actually need more peachy. More skin color. I'm going to go up here and give this a bit of a shine there. This is just the most fabulous tool I think I've ever used as far as being a digital platform. Like I said, I'm not a great fan of digital art, but I do enjoy the fact that you're not wasting a canvas and you kind of able to create things that you can sort of maybe never would be able to sell or anything like that. So you're not going to waste the money on canvases that aren't going to sell. I'm going to go across here, and I'm going to go a little bit up there. Oh, I love this. This is way easier than hand painting, though I must admit hand painting is far more involved. Doing everything by hand on a canvas is far more involved. But this is a fun version of that, of doing a painting. It's very fun. Especially the watercolour. The watercolours are so fun. Got a bit of a smudge effect in them, so it's easy to make your effect happen. Let's go back out and see how we're doing now. And we're only about maybe a third of the canvas done. So there's the whole canvas there, the whole page. So we've still got all of this over here, and we can do what we want, or we could just leave it with just one big corner happening and everything's in the corner. And it still will be balanced. It works like that. I could stop right now and it would work. However, I would prefer to keep it going. And finish it properly. So I'm going to zoom back in onto this arm here, which probably needs a bit more tension there. It's a very long process, but like I said, it is excellent for if you're waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you got nothing to do and you're feeling like there's nothing you can do, then something like this is pretty darn good to sort of work with. Really fun. Really good at keeping you busy, mind busyness, and keeping people, you know, busy and busy is a very good thing. Tell you what, Skelly would have an absolute ball using one of these. You're turning out the art like crazy. Might be an idea for him to see if he can perhaps get one at some point. Okay. Now, let's have a look. Too thick and too thick. That's too thick. I'm just having an absolute fun time. This is really fun. For me, this is really great. It's doing me the world of good, actually. Anxiety-wise, it's doing me the world of good. It is taking away my anxiousness and making me not have to think about things that I don't want to think about and that I don't like. So it's saving me from a lot of drama that otherwise I'd have to be dealing with. And it's a good escape. So fun. Oh, you're probably in too close there. I'll go back out there. Sorry about that. It gets a bit silly if you can't see it. It's a bit boring. Probably making everybody go to sleep. Very different from doing the other stuff that I normally do. Like the karaoke and the music. This is very different. I enjoy it so much. Forgot that this was one of my big passions, actually. I go through phases where I forget about myself and the things that I like. I forget about it. And I really haven't been that much doing the horses at all because of the way things have been going. But I did do a little bit of work the other day with Zara and with lovely Miss Ellie, and it just felt so nice when I was doing it. Even though I was a little upset at myself and stuff. I still had anxiety. I was still frightened, but I felt really good about being around them, even though I felt anxious. It was a very nice thing, and it was a lovely time. And so these little bits that I'm doing in here, you'll see that like the little scales did, these will help pop things and just make it a little bit more interesting to look at. I really get fascinated with artists that do book illustrations. I think there's some of the greatest artists on the planet are the ones who do the book illustrations. I really enjoy looking at book illustrations, especially the old-fashioned ones. Like 1920s, 1930s books, the illustrations in those books I totally love. That's the style that I like the most, that I want to be able to do if I could be a good artist. That's what style I pick. Now the nitty gritty's happening. I'm starting to get to where you get to points where you get a bit weary and tired and you start getting a bit sick of doing the same thing. And it becomes more chore-like than fun anymore. In which case, when that starts to happen, you start to think, okay, what are we going to do here? We might decide to change what we're doing. So she's basically, I think this is now a girl again. I don't know who it is. It could even be me. But basically, it looks like this clothing here is made of the leaves. So this could be some kind of leaf clothing happening here. That's what it looks like to me. Could be wrong. It's like somebody's living in a tropical area with leaf clothing. Both my daughters and my others and my younger son, they all do anime. They draw and they're really good. They're really good. So drawing runs in the genes. On my mother's side, she can't draw for shit. She can't do anything for shit. But anyway, her uncle Lloyd, who's Craig Handley's father, worked for Disney as an animator. He was head of the animation department of Hanna-Barbera in Sydney for many, many years. But he's pretty old now. He'd be probably in his 80s. If he's even alive still, he may be gone. Now the trick with doing these is, if you're going to do them, make sure you're committed to taking a long time in colouring, because you're going to need it to get it right. Especially with the grass bits and stuff. You're going to have to do some effort to colour them correctly. They may take a while to do, so be committed if you're going to do it this style of art. Be committed for the whole thing, because it doesn't look like much, but when you get up closer and you actually look at the actual intricacies, there's a lot happening there. Fishing and cheffing. Hi, Fishing and Cheffing. How you doing? So it's a really weird it's a very weird set of circumstances that's occurring here. I have no idea why it's occurring the way it is, but it is. We're not going to even worry about it. We're going to kind of let go. Okay, that's all right. We're going to... Now this guy here is going to have an armband on here. Whoever owns this arm is wearing an armband, and the armband is going to be like a golden colour. Golden yellow. Let's make that big. We're going to make an armband. Like something you'd see in ancient Egypt. And it's going to have intricate work in it. So it's going to be we're going to zoom in, and we're going to make it intricate. How are we going to do that? Well, stay with me and you'll see in just a moment. It's going to be a very tribal bangle. So it's going to have very basic patterns, but the basic patterns are what they did back in the day. Very simple things like X's and squiggles and things like that ornately were put onto their bracelets and their coins and hand done. They didn't have printing presses like we do. They didn't have a mint like we do. Well, they did, but it wasn't to the technological prowess that we have these days. And then we have very basic shape, but very tribal, very old, tribally looking thing. Now we're going to zoom back out, and there we go. We have our tribal bracelet sitting on here. So we're down the base. Now, while we've got our tribal bracelet working there, we're going to fix our hand up. And it's going to be, oh, I pressed on the wrong thing there. Now, something's wrong there. The hand is going backwards. So the thumb is backwards here. So we're going to leave it like that because I quite like the fact that it's not normal. I like it. I like an abnormal hand on this particular part of the surface. Oh, edit. I'll do that one. I want to go to the black. So everything's topsy-turvy in this painting, in this picture. Which is pretty okay. And that paddle hands and backwards hands is kind of... No, I'm going to undo that. There we go. I'll leave that be. What I might do is outline the black edges here. So that's good. Now, what I'm trying to do here, which is going to be hard to tell without me doing it right, there's literally going to be a hole in the back that goes down into the insides. And inside the insides is going to be red rum. And then some orange yellow sinew stuff. And that's just going to be weird. So we're going to go to yellow. We're going to go back. And on the outside edge, I'm going to just do yellow. I don't know why I'm doing this, it just is happening. Because it can be. And then we're going to go to black. And we're going to do another outline in the black. And then more in the middle. I'm thinking it's going to have to go back up here. You have to go towards the pink. And we're going to have to do pink edging. I think the yellow is just a little bit too much. More like skin tone. Maybe a little more red on the inside edge. There we go. That's nicer. That's a better colour system there. We'll just go a little bit more pink on the inside. There we go. Now, go to black. Right down the bottom there, brush control there. We're going to go zooming in. We're going to pull that across here. We're going to go up. We're going to fix this up. And there are these little things in the ocean And they've got like, oh no, I need to go back to the black. Black, fully solid black. That's right. They're called sea anemones, and they have this like structure to their system. And it's like when you look underneath, it looks a bit like this, and they suction cup themselves on the rocks and stuff with these amazing tentacle-y things that they have. But there's a very yeah, that's like a dark hole. That's a dark, dark hole there. The pressure sensitivity on this thing's amazing. Seriously amazing. I'm really shocked at how good it is. It's called a Huon 24 4K Pro. So the screen itself displays at 4K. So you can watch movies on it and everything. You can use it as a TV if you want to. I'm good, thank you. How are you, if you're still there? Hope you're well. You can use it as a 24K, a 4K TV or display for you can use it for you can play movies on here. You can use it for anything. But the ability to use it for the drawing is totally phenomenal. I would highly, 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 highly recommend it. Anybody who likes drawing, don't have to be a professional. I'm not a professional. They're very reasonably priced at the moment. They were actually 40% off. So I got it for a phenomenal amount. I was looking at second-hand ones, and they're asking more for a second-hand one. And I got a brand new one, and I got it in the 4K, and people, whoa! I did it again. Now, give me a minute. I've just got to do something. I'll be back. All right. Hey, puppy kids out. Very good kitten. Good kitten. Where's a good kitten? Where did I put my water? Oh. Oh. It's right there. It was right there the whole time. Well, what do you know? I had a bottle of water here the whole time and didn't realise I had it. Now, I'm not even sitting where I should be sitting. I should be sitting over here. I'm sitting over here. Well, over this way. But I'm still having no trouble with it. So, I'm having a blast doing this. I really am enjoying the whole process. God, I did it again. Thank God for the undo. Otherwise I'd be in trouble. Now, I can see something here. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to have to reach across here because and again, it's really just whatever your mind wants to do, you just do it. You don't have to do anything that other people do. You can do what you want to do every time, whenever you want, however you want, whatever you want. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no absolutes or requirements. You must do this or you must do that. People who try to tell people, I'll put it this way, a lot of people have to go to school to learn how to do things. The natural artist who just has it in them is always going to come up with stuff that no one else comes up with. And they're always going to be able to do it in a way that no one can replicate. Those who are taught do the same things. You'll see them, they'll all have the same look. You won't be able to tell if it's this artist or that artist. But if you see somebody's painting and you can tell whose the art it is, that's a proper artist. Because they have their uniqueness in the style. And you can see straight away that's a, Monet, or that's a Van Gogh, or that's a whatever, whoever. And it could be anybody. And it doesn't have to be spectacular. It can just be quirky, fun. It can be something out of this world like what I do. I just do crap that no one's ever thought, that would never happen. I mean, seriously. I do stuff that makes no sense. But it also makes sense if you are the sort of person who has a lot of thinking going on. You'll make sense out of my stuff. And it'll be interesting for you. And you'll feel like, this is something I can understand. So, it's not always black and white. Art is really subjective, and it is. Some people there are people who will pay for a dot on a canvas just because somebody's name's on it. There are people who will pay for a line on a canvas with nothing else, just a line. But it's where the line's positioned, and that line may remind them of something that's very important to them. Just trying to make sure this isn't overheating. Don't want overheating happening at all. Feels a little bit hot down the bottom. I have had it going virtually 2 or 3 hours straight here. But yeah, one of my favorite artists is Salvatore Dali, because the imagination that man has, and the way it comes through in his work, and just the things that his mind can conjure up, it's truly phenomenal. There's a lot of people that try to copy the things that he does, and they do a fairly good job at copying him, but no one can do a Salvatore Dali the way Salvatore Dali does it. And if you haven't seen his work, look it up. It's like crazy. The stuff he does is insanely good, and it's realistic as well as being cartoonish. It's so weird. It's realistic but cartoonish. It's like a style of its own, which is why he's renowned. And you can tell it's a Salvatore Dali. You can see it instantly. Yeah, I love his work. I can see a lot in his work. There's a lot of stuff I see in his work that's the emotion in there works on me. Well, it emotes me. That's what you want art to do, cause you to feel an emotion or trigger a memory or do something that gives you some feeling. That's when it's successful. Now, I hate doing trees because I'm absolutely no good at it. Unless I'm doing a massive mural, I'm hopeless at doing trees. Can't get the shapes right. I'm not really successful at doing them. It's a heartache, nothing but a heartache. Hits you when it's too late, hits you when you're down. It's a fool's game, nothing but a fool's game. Standing in the cold rain, feeling like a clown. Feeling right with love to share, but when you find it doesn't care. Oh, you. It ain't wise to need someone as much as I depended on you. Oh, it's a heartache, nothing but a heartache. Loving till your arms break, then he'll let you down. It's a fool's game, nothing but a fool's game. Standing in the cool rain, feeling like a clown. And I haven't played the piano for a few days now, I don't think. I don't even remember the last time I got on the piano or the guitar. Well, I did do the guitar the other day in the morning. But piano, I don't think I've done that for a few days, and I haven't done karaoke at all for a while. Any kind of singing. Haven't done any triple flips with Boston or anything like that recently. I think the last time I sang fully on was probably Christmas Day or somewhere around New Year. Not really sure. can't really remember. Let's get together and be with fun. The stars are wasting time above our line. Where loneliness breaks its fall down the road, where it goes, and I can remember your heart is true. Oh, my baby, don't cry, for you will not die. Da-dum, 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 dum, dum, da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. And we'll go to bright, 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 bright red. Back to orangey, browny, grey. Go across to a brownish, light brownish colour. Darker, lighter brown. I don't know what that is. Dark brown. Oh, I can't tell. And get across to here and get some lighter greys happening. Yellowy, lighter bark. Just, I'm really hopeless at trees. I should be good at trees. I've got trees all around me. I'm just not great at doing trees at all. Wow, I'm getting tired. Okay. So now I'm going to zoom in on into here. Go all the way back to the black. Ah, I've discovered what was wrong. I had it on opacity, meaning clear and transparent a little bit more than what I needed it to be. If it's opaque, it's more, less defined. Which means it's very cat hair there. Yeah, the machine's starting to get a bit hot. I'm going to have to probably give it a break soon. We are in the middle of summer out here, so the house isn't exactly the coolest. It'll be fine in the winter, but the summertime, it's not the greatest for having things like computers and stuff on. I remember when I was watching Mr. Big Pipes live a few times, he had trouble with the heat while he was doing his... He had to stop because it was that hot one or two times. He couldn't continue doing his show. So he had to stop for a few days because of the extreme heat wave. Telling me to draw a straight line by holding down shift, but I don't want to draw a straight line. I'm trying to do the opposite of that. I'm trying to keep things... Nature doesn't really have extremely straight trees. It does have straightness, but not perfectly straight unless it's a certain type of tree that's grown deliberately from a completely straight branch. Well, I'm used to Australian gum trees, and over here the trees are nothing like being straight. Yeah, as a matter of fact, very unstraight limbs. Funny how it gives you tips though. It tries to tell you what to do. That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought it did that, but it does. And in itself, just making the tree is a big process because it's yeah, I need to go back up, back down. There we go. Because I'm down to the pixels here, because I'm zoomed in too far. I'm down to the pixels. These little definitions, it doesn't look like a real tree, but it's doing the job, see? Doesn't have to. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to look like a professional tree. Just got to get the gist of it, that's all. Just got to understand that it's a tree and that's it. That's all we need to know. Nothing more, nothing less. No right or wrong. The only time I'll say you're doing it wrong is if you've got the computer doing everything for you and you're not actually coming up with your own ideas. Then I'll say you're not really the producer of the art. You may be directing the producer, but you're not the actual producer. Now the tablet's starting to become non-responsive for some weird reason. I don't know what's going on here. It's not responsive the way it should be. It could be that it's overheating. And this being the first day I've used it, there's not a lot of reviews on them. They're fairly new. They've been around since 2020. Well, this 4K one's 2023 they started being made, apparently. The normal Pro 24, which is just a HD, actually you can get a 2.5K, which is at the moment currently dearer than buying this particular one. So, go down. I'm almost there. I can see the pixelations and it's kind of lagging, which means the pen is probably having a bit of difficulty keeping up with everything I'm asking it to do. And I'm working quick. I'm not slow. I work fast. A lot of people take a lot longer. So I'm taxing the computer's system, asking it to do things super quickly. And it's keeping up beautifully, actually. Really need to go into the dark black. There we go, that's a bit better. I think I just had it too. I had it in the dark black, but it wasn't dark enough. It's a super fine pen that I'm using. There, and I am zoomed right in. But I will switch the unit off soon and give it a break. Very soon, actually. Once I get this tree sorted, I'm going to have a break for it, give it a break. Because it's getting really hot there and I can feel it on my hand. It's just like burning right there. I don't know why it's burning. It seems to be in this corner here. So let's get this sorted and finished up as soon as possible. Maybe because I'm resting my hand on it too much. And this chair that I'm in is lacking in height slightly. If I had a bit higher, I'd be able to sort of maneuver easier. But I can feel, because I haven't done these kinds of drawings for a very long time, my shoulder is killing me. I've been at this for a couple of hours now and my shoulder is really sore. Almost where it feels like I'm pulling a muscle in it. And also my neck is kind of sore too because I'm kind of reaching sideways. I'm not centered like I should be. But it's good. So let's see how we go. Now, before I finish right up, I'm going to just colour that little bit there in, because that little bit there was not quite where it needed to be. And maybe there. Right, let's zoom back out and see what we got now. So now we got, whoop, oh, that nearly broke my phone then. Now we have, let's zoom in one. Now we have an almost full picture. And up close, this is how it kind of appears. Go out just a little. Oh no, we don't want to do that. I don't know what this does. Has it just squashed it? What did I do? I don't know what I did. But that's pretty much how it's coming along now, so we'll give it a break, let it cool itself down a bit, switch it all off for a while. And thanks for watching. Well, appreciate it. And I'm gonna go and get have some tea, and it's nearly 9 p.m. Oh my god, I've been going for how long? 183 minutes. It's 3 hours. Wow, okay, probably 3.5 hours because I started a bit earlier before I came on. So I'm going to switch this off. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. File. Brightness. Okay, go to File. Oh, my God. I've done something bad. Okay. What have I done? File. Save as. Save as. So what do I call it? I'll call it the Desert People. Desert People. Drawing digital. Okay. And then we'll go save. And that should then come back whenever it's done. So now we can switch it off. There we go. And it should be fine when I switch it. Let me see if I switch it back on. Does it come back on this? Let's see if it does. It might not. I may have... Oh, it does. So there we go. It comes straight back on. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's give it a break. And also let's give this computer a break as well. It has been going all day as well. So we'll go to close, save data. Yes. Save as Desert People. Drawing. Okay. Okay. It'll log off. I'm going to close. How do I turn it? Shut down. Shut down. And that gives that a break. Gives this a break. All of it's going to have a break. My crazy ass clock has gone over the time in power. What time's it saying? It's saying 9:16. Well, hang on. It's saying 9:16. It's 9:16. Okay. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good evening. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.